What if Season 3, Episode 5 thoughts? What if the Emergence destroyed the Earth thoughts? Spoilers for everything MCU leading up to and including this episode, another episode I love, like most of the MCU. The episode is rated 12 plus, so will this video be? Let's dive right in. So this might be a short video. My back pain has grown legs and is currently kicking my ass. I appreciate that they do let us know pretty quickly that this was, in fact, the Emergence. You know, at first I was wondering, is this the World Breaker? But, yeah, apparently not. And, yeah, I appreciate, yet again, the rules and logic are consistent with the movies. And, yeah, this is another of the episodes where a bunch of these characters are ones they're going to use relatively soon, so that's why, it's making sure we don't forget. At this point, the MCU has gotten quite large. And I really appreciate that they're not just constantly relying on the original 6 Avengers, because we do have a lot of really fascinating new characters here that were more recently introduced. And let's see, let's see, the idea that Quentin Beck would try to take over the world, of course, yeah, makes a lot of sense. This is not the only story I'm familiar with where Mysterio is dying and really wants to make sure he wins before he dies, but unfortunately I cannot tell you, even though it's one of my favorite comics, what the other one is, because it is technically a spoiler to say which, because it's a twist that Mysterio is the villain in it. But yeah, just really, it's one of my favorite versions of Mysterio is when he is like desperate like this. There's a lot. I don't think I've ever read a bad Mysterio story, honestly. A lot of my favorite Spider-Man stories are Mysterio. Anyway, let's see. I think that does just about... Yeah, very cool to see more White Vision. I guess I'll call him Vision henceforth in this video, since they do in the episode. And yeah, evil Vision, we haven't seen very much of it in the MCU, even though it is fascinating, and he did start out evil in the comics, and he was evil for like 5 seconds of Age of Ultron, and White Vision was evil in the WandaVision finale. Now, I think that does... Yeah, cool to see the Power Broker again. They apparently did get Emily Van Camp back, even though it's not an awful lot of lines of dialogue. And, yeah, she betrays Riri. That does... Yeah, very, very consistent. The characters in general are quite consistent with the characterizations we've seen of them in the other parts of the MCU they've appeared in. And let's see, yeah, I think they did a really good job here setting up, like, at the very start of the episode, the Watcher says, this is going to fail. So it is a very fatalist episode for a lot of it. And then at the end, he does make sure it doesn't fail, and, Riri hears the voices of a lot of different Jedi and fights back as... she's getting Palpatined unlimited power. And the other Watchers have been watching, and they don't like what they're seeing. They're gonna, yeah, I'm genuinely fascinated, because, yeah, like, the first season ended with the Watcher fighting... I forget what... He was named something more than Ultron. Supreme Ultron, maybe? So yeah, I'm guessing this one... Maybe they have some, like, one of the, according to the subtitles, one of the Watchers here from the end is called Executioner, so maybe there'll be some Watcher-on-Watcher violence for us to watch. And I think that does... Right, very cool for them to have a base in the Titanic. I wonder if it started with them hoping that they would find the heart of the ocean, and that would help, like, buy microwave parts. And let's see. Yeah, I really appreciate seeing all these different, like, these are all good guys, sure, but they're from very different worlds and they're working together, I guess, is her name Brunhilde? The Asgardian, we have Wong, of Kamartaj, Riri with technology from Earth, but yeah, that was quite good. Right, the actors all do great. I really appreciate this as an episode without any broad performances. I think it would have really clashed with the tone. And yeah, like these, like, sort of Iron Legion, I mean, they're not quite Ultron bots, are they? Although they are armed, which the Iron Legion wasn't really. But yeah, works with the, yeah. Let's see. And I think that might be just about it. Right, I really appreciate the emotional devastation of seeing, Riri did lose everyone. All of the resistance is now dead. She is the only one left alive, I suppose you could say. And she might be probationary. And let's see, right, it goes by kind of quick, so you might miss it, but as they're approaching the Titanic, you can actually, if you look very closely, spot the piece of wood that Rose was on top of, and no, Leo could not have fit on it. It was not an issue of, like, the size of it. It was about weight distribution. I don't know why people insist that. Anyway, yeah, I thought I'd resurrect 27-year-old argument. I haven't even seen anyone else, like, get into this recently, but that movie is amazing. It is not without flaws, but that is not one of them. Now, I did an entire video talking about it, so I'm not going to get too much into it here. Yeah, I suppose that might be it. I will say, each time, they're at the end when they're showing the bodies, after they show Valkyrie, they show another one, and because it goes by so quick, like, it's not really a close-up. I cannot tell who they're showing me, it, yeah, just looks nondescript as far as, yeah. Oh, right, amazing crossfades in this episode, she like uses technology to see the word, and then it fades into the word at the top of the building, and the part where there's this bit where, like, let's see, I think it goes from, like, 2 eyes to something that looks like eyes, and just, yeah. I think that might be about it. I appreciate them acknowledging the creepiness of they've been watching Riri for quite some time. And, if there had been time, I'm sure one of them would have talked about, like, you really got to spruce up your apartment. Like, I know that this is the post-apocalypse, but you don't have to make it that depressing. That might be about, some really great moments with Mysterio. And I appreciate, at first I was, like, wondering why the blue eyes, but it is explained, not nanites, nano. See, I always accidentally mix up, I think, nanoparticles, because nanites is nano-based money in Deus Ex, and for a while I played so much Deus Ex and didn't hear nano anywhere else, so struggle to separate the two. Or am I thinking of, is it System Shock 2? One of them has nanites as money. Anyway, yes, possibly both. Moving on. I think, right, yeah, I quite appreciate, he's, there's that thing about, where are the nano things? And he's like, oh, they are here, they're in me, If you want them, you'll have to pry them from my cold, dead body. And, you know, that's foreshadowing. And then she even says, I don't think I'll have to wait long, you know. And yeah, not very long after she does pry them, you know, he charges at her, she phases through him, grabs the particles. Yeah, very nicely done. And I think that might be about... Yeah, it was also nice out of the box kind of solution with the, you know, yeah, she turns herself into a part synthesoid, you know. Yeah, that should do it, I think. Yeah, until he decided to intervene, the Watcher in this episode wasn't exactly a barrel of sunshine. Like, holy crap, just like over a, well, this is gonna fail. You know, handing the bucket of popcorn to a non-existent second audience member, and, you know, there at the end, he is like, you know, turning away. I just can't bear to watch. No, and he starts to turn around. Just one more time. I just gotta see it. It's, you know, it's getting some kind of twisted thrill out of... No, but it was quite cool, and I kind of appreciate, yeah, like, sometimes you really do just need someone to urge you to keep fighting, you know, to not, you know, never give up, never surrender.